Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I have a cute little project for you today. Now, this project is really great if you're going to be handing out Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Now, they come in this little kind of foil package. I'm just kind of folded up the bottom because there's a lot of loose stuff. And then you can just stick them inside this little package. Easier to do it when it's sitting down, and it creates this cute little holder. So if you're handing these out maybe for breakfast or something and you want to fancy them up a little bit because they look a little plain otherwise, this is a great little way to distribute them in a fun little manner. And to switch on the back side, I've also stamped on the back side. And the great thing about these is that they're really easy to make. They take about a half sheet of cardstock for the box. And I'm going to show you today how I did this in the cherries theme. And where's my box? So I was at the grocery store and I found these frosted cherry Pop-Tarts. So I know they come in other flavors. So we're going to do a blueberry themed one with the same punch. So you can see how it can be versatile. And so you can kind of maybe pick Pop-Tarts that match if it's a cherry Pop-Tart, you put cherry on it. If it's a blueberry, you put blueberry on it. And so you can kind of have a matching theme. And I think it would be very easy to do an apple one as well. I think they come in apple. I don't know. I've never eaten Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I've always I have a very interesting breakfast regimen. I'm very much of a routine person. I eat fruit every day for breakfast and I bake my own bread. So I don't generally eat Pop-Tarts, but I know there's a lot of people that do. So it's not that Pop-Tarts, I'm being discriminatory against Pop-Tarts. It's just that's something that I don't eat. So I don't know all the flavors, but I want to show you how to turn this into maybe an apple as well. But we won't stamp the full box. I'll do the blueberry one today and just show you how all of that goes. So I will talk to you. And if you want to let me know how my sound is this morning, I went in to make sure I turned it all up and stuff. And that's probably about as best I can do. When you're listening to me, if you're listening to this as a recording, remember there's two ways to adjust your volume. There's the volume on your computer. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, there's also in YouTube down at the bottom, there's this black line. It has YouTube on it and it has a volume adjuster in YouTube as well. So if you're having sound issues, make sure you have got both of those turned all the way up. Some people have no problem. I don't have a problem. I'm on a newer device though, so it's really hard for me to mimic anything that different people are problems that other people are having because I'm on a newer device and I can't, figure out how to make your device sound better because mine, it sounds fine. I can't even have it up all the way because it's just too much volume. Okay, I'm glad my sound is good today. So we're going to pop over and we're going to start making this project. Oh, and before I forget, I do have a project sheet and this will go out in email on Saturday. So you need to be on my email list to get this. And the link to do that is down below in the description of the video. You just click on it. If you're already on my email list, you will get this. So don't worry, you don't have to sign up again. You don't just get one project sheet per life. You will get all of mine consistently going forward. I also wanted to remind everyone, I do have a BOGO sale going on right now. If you click over to my blog link, there's a little skinny banner right up the top of my latest blog post, and it will take you right over to my BOGO sale. BOGO basically means buy one, get one. So it's kind of like that. So you go through, I have a page of retired stuff. You pick out whatever products you want from my retired page. And then email me and let me double check that everything's still available, because I will pull them and just reserve them for you. And I'll total up everything and say your total comes to $50. So then what you'll do is I'm going to give you a special host code, and you'll go over to the online store and you'll choose different product, new product that's currently available in the Stampin' Up! Store, and you'll spend at least $50 if your amount was $50. And then I'm going to send you all those retired products that you picked. I'm going to ship them. I'm going to send them to you. Those products are free. You just need to pay for the shipping for the product. So I'll send you a PayPal invoice for the shipping. But all of that, as soon as you pick your products, I will send you an email with instructions and the prices of everything, including the PayPal shipping. So there's no surprises. And in case, we can discuss anything, if there's any surprises for you on the outset, so you're not bogged down or locked into anything. I try to be as upfront as possible, but it's a super good deal. And today I'm working on shipping out the BOGO, people that have already BOGOed from the beginning of the week. I've got a table full. I've got half of my boxes packed already. And because I like to add a little something extra into everyone's order. And a thank you card. So I want to make sure that everything is packaged just right. And that's why it takes a little bit longer than just putting things into a box and shipping them out. I want each package to be a little bit special. So if you still want to participate in that, there's a few days left of that. Just click over to my blog. Okay, let's do today's project. Okay, I'm going to prop this up here so I can follow along. Let's talk about, this is the project. On one side I have this, and on the other side I have that. So if you had to do these en masse, I would say, and you just want it to be really simple, you could just do one side. I mean, both sides look cute. I just, I thought it was nice. You have friend on the front and then wishing you a sweet day. So it's kind of a nice little way. And the nice thing about this is, say someone only wanted to eat one Pop-Tart, they could slide the other Pop-Tart back into here for later. And this helps protect it a little bit, so they don't get damaged or crushed. Because I'm sure they can, because the foil isn't that sturdy. Okay, so let's set those aside for a moment. And let's talk about the Sweetest Cherries bundle. This is one of our new bundles out of the annual catalog. And you get the stamp set and the punch in the bundle. When you buy these two together, you save 10%. Or you can buy them separately if you want to. But I think the nice thing is you've got the words and you've got the cherries, so you can kind of see on here, I stamped and then punched the cherry, and it gives the cherry a little bit more depth. And I did the same thing. I stamped and then punched out the leaf, so it has a little bit more depth than if you just got the punch alone. So I really like how they work in combination. That's kind of the beauty of the stamping and punching, and not just doing die cutting, because you can add more depth with the stamping. Okay, so there's that bundle. And then I used on the front, I don't know if you could tell, but I used this, this is called the Deckled Rectangles dies. And guess what? They fit perfectly on this front. It's just so happened that this is like the perfect size to frame this out. So I love these new dies. You could also get this effect by tearing, but I'll tell you, it would be near impossible to get these shapes in this size so perfectly. And these all nest. So they're just a really great new die that we have. Okay, let's get started. I told you this is going to be an easy project, so I wanted to make sure that it is. Let's grab my Simply Scored, because that's kind of the easiest way to do your scoring. And this piece is 8 1/8 inches by 5 1/8 inches. Kind of weird how that worked out, that extra 1/8 of an inch. 8 1/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, I'll put the long side up at the top. Straighten that out a bit. And then we're going to score at the 5/8 inch mark, the 3 3/4 inch mark, and 4 3/8, and 7 1/2. And then just turn it to one of the short sides, and we're going to score at the 5/8 inch mark. That's it. Very, very easy scoring. Then we're going to do a couple things. Choose a corner to cut off. You see the corner square there? That is being eliminated. We don't need that. Okay. And then we've got these little short little scores right here to the first score intersection. So I'm just going to snip up, and snip up. So one corner square goes away, and then you snip up in between the other ones. So you've got these little tabs. Okay. And then while this is flat, you want to stamp on it while it's flat, because later on it's going to be hard to stamp once it's into a box. You could try, but it won't work very well. So what I'm going to do, I want to create a little bit of interest along the bottom front, and we've got this nice little stamp right here with this these little cross hatches on here. So in order to do that, and I don't want it on this back side, so this middle line right here, that's where I'm going to start stamping on. And this time we're gonna do this one in blueberries. Okay, so I'm gonna switch out my color. For the cherries I did Tahitian Tide. For the blueberries I thought we'd switch it up and do Parakeet Party, just for the fun of it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, and I want to find my middle piece, and then I want to stamp right above that line that's going to be bent over. I just want to show you what that looks like. In my project sheet, I'm going to have a diagram for you so you can see where I stamped, so you don't have to guess later on. But I just wanted to show you that close up. Okay, so I did a second one right next to it. And then, and even if you don't line it up 100% perfectly, it will still, this pattern is very forgiving. So I'm just going to ink this up one more time. I protected my work surface because now I'm coming off the edge, and I'm just going to come over and grab that like that. So because this is wrapping around both sides, I wanted to make sure that I go all the way off the edge. Okay, so now I want to stamp this back, what's going to be my back piece. So instead of doing bright red, I'm going to do Starry Sky instead. I'm going to find my Starry Sky ink pad because now I'm doing blueberries, right? So I want to have a different color. So what I'll do is I'm going to come in with this sweet, make sure I cleaned it off, make sure it's not red anymore. And I'm going to do sweet. I'll bring it down probably about, oh, you know what? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I want to do this color. I was just trying to think. I'm trying to switch out colors so that they coordinate well. So I'm going to do that. And then I think I'm going to do green like this. And then the blueberry will be here like that. Okay, so we're going to do, find my garden green. Garden green. Clean off my stamp. And I'll put wishing you a up top here. And then day comes right here. And then I'm going to create some blueberries. This side, I want to keep it fairly flat. So, so let's see what we can do here with these blueberries. I'm experimenting now. Kind of have a little bit of a plan. We might need to, I think we're going to do 2 blueberries because I'm not going to do stems for the blueberries. So let's just kind of do this. And you know what we could do? I'm just going to grab a little Post-it note. I'm going to do a little masking. Impromptu. I'm going to grab this and punch out a cherry. This is Post-it note. You know what I could have done? I could have grabbed my masking paper too. We have new Stampin' Up! Masking paper. I'm just so used to using Post-it notes. So I'll show you Post-it note. So I want to add a little leaf maybe behind here. Come back over here. Improvising. Got garden green. Let's see. Peel this off. Now I've got a little bit of a green leaf here. And why don't I put one down here? Just underneath here. Just as a little accent. Yeah, so that would be for the little blueberries. You know what? If you want to make the little stems on the blueberries, we could do that too. The blueberry stems stamped are very, very thin. Oh, shoot. Where? Oh, yeah, here it is. I was going to say, I don't know where my blueberry stem is. Okay, so if we want to do a little stem right here, we're going to do masking as well. Let's put that right here. We're going to do just a little tiny stem. I think, what do you think? Blueberry stems, maybe they're like a brown color. Let's drop soft suede. I'm going to show you how I do my punch blueberries a little different, but I wanted to, okay, so just add like a tiny little stem onto there. I don't think this one's going to show up very well, but this one will show up better. Okay. We'll do this one because I don't have, you know how I hate it when I get blueberries and you've got those little tiny little stems to have to like remove still. So you can decide whether or not you want to put the blueberry stems on there or not, but that's somewhat how I would do the back side. Let's do the front of blueberries. We'll see how we accomplish that. I've got a little trick that we're going to do for the blueberries, and we might actually use it for the back too, but it involves a punch, so you know, I'll have to see if I want to put a punch shape on the back as well. Okay, I am somehow transferring green ink. Somehow I got green ink on me. Okay, I think I've done all the stamping that I'm going to do on here, so let's bring together the box. And the way we're going to do that is just fold along the score lines, all of them. It's a really simple box. And then I'm going to fold these bottom ones over and do that. All right. So I want to make sure that this side with the green is on top. So I'm going to fold over this side over here that doesn't have the green, this one right here. And I'm going to come in with my glue and put just a bead down the center. And then I'm going to come over and fold this over the top of it. And it should line up really well. And then you can press down, smoothen that glue. Okay, so now it's like an open-ended box with these tabs right here down at the bottom. So we're going to tuck in the two smaller tabs first, and then we want this front tab right here, we want that to be on top. So I'm going to fold down this tab first. Actually, if you want to, you can put a dot of glue on those two tabs, and then we'll put a line of glue down the center of this, and then we'll fold this over, give it a little press, and then turn this over. Take your bone folder, and we're just going to press down on the bottom of the box to create a nice smooth bottom. So that's what the back would look like. And now we're going to work on the front. So we're going to take a piece of the, I'm drawing a blank, Parakeet Party, and Parakeet Party is going to be our accent color for the blueberries. And let's grab the mini boss here. Hello, little mini boss. Now, I don't know that, I'm trying to think if all of these will fit through here. I don't think the largest one of the deckled rectangles will fit through here, but we're using the fourth largest ones, so it will fit through the mini boss. I just wanted to point out that if you're getting these, you'll probably want to have the bigger machine if you want to use all of them, because they won't all fit through. But on my desk, the mini boss fits really nicely. It's kind of always there for me. And then I want to take, I don't take the regular base platform that comes with the machine. Use the number 3 plate if you find number 1 is too tight. The number 1 is what they tell you to use. The number 3 is what I use for my machine, because my machine's a little on the tight side and this one works better. So using light gray number 3, I'm going to build my sandwich. There's the 3, a clear plate, the rectangle, and a hair, which I don't want. And if you can, just angle your piece just slightly. I usually stand when I do this because it's a little easier. So I'm just angling it just a wee bit. And then I'll put my other cutting plate on top. And now we're going to run this through. And because it's got a bit of a straight edge, it's going to be just that little initial little bump is a little hard to get through, but then it cuts really nicely. Just remember, if your machine's tight, use number 3 instead of number 1. I did not like my embossing machine, my mini boss, until someone told me about that little trick, and now I love it. And I keep it right here beside my desk, and I actually use it a lot more often than I thought I would. So, mini boss for the win. Okay, I've got my little piece now, and I'm going to grab Friend, and I'm going to grab my Parakeet Party ink pad. You could also emboss this in white. It would look really pretty. But remember, this is supposed to be an easier, quicker project. So let's do Parakeet Party on Parakeet Party. And I've noticed with Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party, they can sometimes be a little inky when you first get them. And they might look a little bit splotchy at first. I just hold it down for a few seconds, and the ink will sink in after a while, and it will smooth everything out. It looks better in just a minute. So I am not worried about that. Okay, so now we want to create some blueberries. So I'm going to take Starry Sky, and I'm going to take my punch, and I'm going to take my Starry Sky ink, and we're going to stamp a cherry, which is now a blueberry, on here. And we'll punch it out. Okay, I could have cut this piece a lot narrower. Let's do that. Let's measure it and see how big our piece needs to be. It needs to be probably, okay, let's see, cutting off the edge here. So let's measure this. About, I would say like 1 3/8 to 1.5 inches wide is kind of a good measurement. Probably 1 3/8 would be sufficient. And then we can stamp another one. I'm going to put 2 blueberries. I think I'm going to put 2 blueberries on the front. Okay. So again, Starry Sky on Starry Sky will give you a little bit of a highlight, so it doesn't just look flat, right? Okay, so now we can put this away, and I wanted to create a little, you know how blueberries have kind of like a little star up at the top where they've attached to the stem. I looked at some images this morning. This is our Starlit punch. I love this punch. It's great for the 4th of July holiday that's coming up. It's great for Christmas, and it's good for Hanukkah. And so it's a great punch. It's got a whole bunch of little shapes. You could make shaker cards with it. A lovely little punch. But for our blueberry, I'm going to use this star with the star that doesn't have really pointy edges. So I'm just going to line it up in the corner here. I'm going to punch 1 and punch 2. All right, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just adhere that to the top of our little berries. And that's going to create a little look of a blueberry. It's going to make it look a little bit different than the cherry, right? So we'll just add those onto there. And yeah, I'm letting the top 2 points kind of stick out a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to come in here with this. And I thought we should also have some leaves. So I'll show you how I do the leaves. So you just need a piece of garden green. And I've got my little leaf here. And I'm going to stamp the leaf in one of the corners. So let's put the Starlit punch away for a second. The best way I know how to do this is you want to match it up with the punch shape so you don't have too much cardstock wastage. So I kind of orient this like this. I look at it this and I go, okay, that's how I want to stamp it. So I just take this and I stamp it down on the corner. And then I can feed it in and, oh, just hold on. Then we don't have to waste cardstock, and I can use each corner and just orient it a little bit like that. And feed this in again and punch. So then I would do the other corners. You can make this piece like a little bit shorter too. So if you wanted to waste even less, or I could cut off here and then do 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get 4 more leaves out of here. Okay. So now we're just going to bring this together and just decide where you might want to put your leaves. And kind of tuck them behind here. And you know what? We might want to, I don't know for this one, I don't know, we might want to put a 3rd blueberry on this one because we've got less stem. So, you know, you kind of have to decide, you know, when you bring in another type of of berry. I don't know, do we want 3? Do we want 2? No, put this leaf down here. No, I don't like that there. It looks funny. I'm just going to grab my other, where is my other one? So here we've got the 2 cherries. Do we just do 1 leaf or do we do 2? I'm so torn, right? So if I do this one over here, this one over here, and then we're going to, I'm just laying everything out. We've got some twine that's going to come over here. Whoa. Let's cut off a bit more of this twine. Put that there. And we're going to put some, you know what? I still think I want 3 blueberries. Okay, so let's reconfigure this. This is working on the fly. We can put this one over here maybe. Okay. Yeah, kind of like that. All right, that's what we're going to do. That's the pattern now. Okay, so let's take this one off. And we're going to put a little bit of Tombow on this one. And we'll place that one right there. Take the leaf and stick it right there. And then we'll come over here. And if I just put the glue in the center, that leaves me enough space to tuck the leaves under afterwards, right? So I don't have to worry about not being able to access that. So then we'll put this one on here. Okay. And then we'll put this one here. That. Okay, and then we'll put a little dot of glue right here. So I just grabbed this because I had tied this earlier, but let's talk about this twine for a second. This is the 2022-2024 in color twine. It comes in all 5 colors, and so it is great because I used it on here, and now I can use it on here because I'm using a lot of the in colors in this project, right? Okay, I'll put those little embellishments on last, but now, okay, this is the box. Okay, let's grab a Pop-Tart because I want to show you something that happens with the Pop-Tarts. When I was designing this, I wanted to you know, make it tight enough so it doesn't like if I give it a shake, this is going to come out, but it's not going to like fall out super easy. It is open-ended, but I wanted to be like tight, but not too tight. So it's kind of got a delicate bounce. So to put this on here, I'm going to put it on dimensionals, but I'm going to put it on afterwards because I want to make sure it stays sticking down with dimensionals. So let's pop this in here. If you want just kind of a silvery look up at the top here, just take a look at your Pop-Tart and see which end just has silver on it. So this end looks the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot the Pop-Tart down to that end, and then I'm going to tuck under this little piece here because there's a lot of extra wrapping. And then I'm just going to, if this is going to be our front, just going to slide this in here down into there, and it's going to bulge just a little bit, but that's, like I told you, that's kind of the nature of the box. It's going to bulge a little bit. And we're going to take the back of this and just add some dimensionals in each of the 4 corners. All right, and then we'll just center it on here. like that. And then the last thing I want to do is grab some of these. These are my favorite embellishment right now. They're the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels. They're the go with anything embellishment, and you get a lot of them. So I truly, if you're looking to buy one embellishment, this is the one I would get, because it doesn't steal the thunder from anything you're doing. It's just a nice little embellishment. And I'm going to stick, oh, you know what? I did two of the same size, but that's okay. I want to put, I want to dot the I on friend with one of those iridescent. So that is how I would do the blueberries, and the parakeet party cardstock really pops those blueberries. It's almost like a green yellow, so it works really well together. And so that is how I would do the different Pop-Tarts. If you wanted to do an apple, so let's just say for argument's sake we wanted to do an apple. Let me clean off my blue cherry, and you could use the same color, Sweet Sorbet, or you can choose another red, but since I have Sweet Sorbet out here, let's just ink this up here. And let's stamp this and punch it out. Punch it out. I'm wondering if I have, earlier I threw over a bunch of stems. Aha, I already have one of these stems already attached. Cherries actually have green stems. Let me just tear this off. This is already glued on. Otherwise, I'd have to go get some cardstock. So for a cherry stem or an apple stem, we want it to be quite short, right? So you're just going to add Tombow to the bottom of this. And you're just going to have this sticking out just a teeny tiny bit to make it look more like an apple, right? That looks a little bit more like an apple. And if you're using a brown stem, if you look online at pictures, and if you eat cherries right now, cherry season is in full swing, but oh my gosh, they're so expensive still. It's always shocking to me, like, because we had so many cherries in our yard. How shocking it is to actually go buy cherries in the store. It's terrible. Okay. So I'm going to just add a leaf to here. And punch. And you can just, you know, if you want, just tuck like a leaf behind there. Like that. And that will be your apple. Let me adhere that so you can see better. And just kind of the same thing. You maybe pick a different accent color so that you're not competing with the cherries. And yes, the cherries and the apple will be the same size, right? So, you know, it will be the same size, but it's going to have a slightly different look to it. And I would just maybe pick a different accent color for the background of this one, just so it's like it differentiates a little bit, and so no one mistakes the flavor, right? And so you could have blueberry, cherry, apple, and I don't know, you could probably, I don't know what other flavors of Pop-Tarts there are, but if there are, this could be an apricot or a peach, I think, as well. So, you know, you can just change out the colors, and if there's different kinds of berries, make them a little bit different. So I hope that project is nice, a nice little one. Maybe you have like a breakfast group, or I don't know what you might need those for, but it's just a way to jazz up those Pop-Tarts and make them look a little bit more fun and special. And it's an easy box. And, you know, if you don't want to do all of this stuff on the front, you can just do this on the back, like I did on the back, and this could be the front as well, right? You don't have to do both. You can just do one, and then there's no stamping, there's no punching, so it's going to be really fast for you to do just that side, and then you can make up a whole bunch more of those, or go a little bit fancier and do some little punch shapes. You could also pop these up on dimensionals. The reason I did this deckled piece on dimensionals is because these boxes bow out just a little bit. You can see on one side they bow out just a little bit, but if I did it so it was perfectly flat, then that Pop-Tart would also be a little jiggly in there. It's nice and snug right there. It's not tight. It's snug as a bug in a rug. So that's the way I like it. All right. Okay. Let me just tell you a couple of things before I talk to you and answer your questions. Of course, I have a project sheet for you, so just make sure you're on my email list. If you enjoy my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you think of my project. Let me know if there's something you would want me to build a box for. Let me know if there's a candy or something that you need a packaging for. So all the supplies I used today, they're over on my blog. It's the very first link. Click over to my blog. Actually, all the supplies are down below too. I do have links within YouTube. So if you want to check out something quickly, you can do that really, really easily. I do have a host code running. This is for people that are not participating in the BOGO sale. That's my host code for the month. And if you spend $50 with me this month, you're going to get a package of the Design a Daydream Designer Series paper. This is 48 sheets and it's 6x6. And so that will come to you next month in July. We're almost at the end of June. So if you already purchased $50 with me this month, you are going to get this if you use this host code. If you're participating in my BOGO sale, you're getting my retired product. That's your gift. But for those of you who purchased earlier in the month, you're going to get this. And if you purchase now, you have a few days left. We've got, it's the 24th. We've got like not quite a week left of the month. So anyway, let's see what you guys have to say. I want to hear. Good morning, Fair Blue and Birgit. So nice to see you from so many different places. We've got Fair Blue in Tennessee, Birgit in Germany, Marty in Pittsburgh, and you have a sunny and hot day. Wow. Oh, Marty says she thinks it's a cute idea and her grandkids will love them. Oh, I'm glad. That's awesome. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Karen from New Jersey and Ellie from New York. And we already checked the sound. Very good. Pat asks, how did I come up with a Pop-Tart box? Being that I don't eat them. I too have never eaten them. Well, I had cherries on my mind, and so this is what happens. We have a product. I love cherries. Like I will eat like a whole bunch of cherries if they're in front of me, real cherries. And so I was in the grocery store the other day, and I just went down the aisles and looking for cherry themed anything because I wanted to make things that had a cherry theme, because I wanted to use the cherry bundle because I thought it was kind of cool. So I did find some things, and I have a few other things that I'm going to make packaging for. But this was one that I thought really needed a dress up, the Pop-Tarts. And I know a lot of people eat them, and, having them there, like, maybe you have like a, I don't know, like a tea or something like that. I don't know, like a breakfast brunch or whatever. Maybe you're doing this at an office. Maybe you have a small office and you just want to brighten people's days. And this will look really cute in a little basket, don't you think? Like just sticking out, maybe get a little, napkin or something, like maybe a little gingham napkin, or even just like a red or blue napkin or a white napkin, and you just tuck these all into the basket, right? And isn't this so much more fun? Like, people are going to be like, "Oh wow, that's so cute," right? It's the little exclamation mark on the day. It makes the Pop-Tart from just like, an ordinary thing into a fancy thing. So that's how I came up with it. I wander the grocery store aisles. Like, I go through, the granola bar section, the tea section, the candy section, anything that might have cherry themed stuff. That's that you will find me, and people will be looking at me in the grocery store thinking maybe I have a problem because I'm staring at the shelves too long. But that's just in my head. I know other people stare at shelves too, but I know when I get there I'm just like, oh, or the candy aisle, and I'm just standing there looking at it trying to think, okay, could I do a packaging for that, or could I do a packaging for this? I have a real candy problem, right? Okay, let's see. Marty says my sound is good. Plus, I have you here on my Apple TV, so I'm on the big screen. Oh my gosh. Oh, my worst nightmare, right? All the little flaws of my project are now on the big screen. No, it's okay. It makes it very real, right? Like, today I had the idea to switch it up and make a blueberry one. The cherry one, the only tip that I can give you with the cherry one that's different is make sure you attach the stem to the cherry. Just put a little tiny dot of Tombow on the end of that stem, attach it to the cherry, and then attach both of them at the same time, because it's harder to get that stem in the whole positioning without the stem on it, because it's like a big thing versus like a berry, which is like smaller and more compact. So I would attach those stems first. So basically I did them the exact same way, just different colors. All right, let's have a look. Okay, Marty agrees with me. Blueberry stems are usually brown and tiny, and I hate them too. I know, just picking them out. Sometimes I think I'll probably end up eating them just because they're too annoying. There's usually one batch that's like particularly bad, and you're like, what are all these stems? LA says, thanks for the hints on best practices to use punches. It is too easy to waste cardstock by not planning ahead. Very true. Like, I should have measured earlier, but I was running around and I wanted to get everything done quickly. Marty says, my grandkid is watching with me. Oh, Leo's almost 11. Hello, Leo. They said, wow, when you added the star to the blueberry. Oh, I'm glad you like that little touch. I wouldn't have known how to do that until I looked at images this morning and I saw the little kind of the attachment part of the blueberry, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I have a punch that I can use for that. So I'm glad. It's always a good idea when you need color ideas or when you need to know how to put something together. Just Google, say, like, whatever it is, and then I click on the images tab and it brings up a full page of just images of whatever you're doing. Maybe you're coloring a flower or whatever. It's just very helpful to have photographs. And sometimes when you click on images, they said this morning there was an extra tab that opened up and it said cute. So I clicked on cute blueberries and it brought up all the cartoon or all the hand-drawn blueberries, some with smiley faces. And that's when you can really kind of get even a better idea, because our stamped images are a little closer to the cute side sometimes than they are the realistic side, or at least this one is. So that was another little tip. Okay. Diane said, cute idea. Thanks for sharing. Well, you're welcome. Ruthie says, it's adorable. Thank you. Nancy said, your mini die cutter trick has made me really love my mini. Oh, that's awesome. Going to Connecticut on vacay, and it will be traveling with me. See, that's the nice thing. The mini cut in a boss, it's very light. It's a lot lighter than a typical die cutting machine. Now you can't do everything on it, but for those smaller die cuts, it's really nice to have to take it with you. It's just a lot easier. Just don't forget to bring your plates along, right? Fair Blue says, cute Pop-Tart box. Thank you. Oh, Marty says she checked and there is an apple flavored Pop-Tart. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I should finish making the apple box and post a photo. I'll see if I can do that. I'll have to choose a new background color. Okay, Kathleen says, absolutely adorable Pop-Tart box. I can't say that. Thank you. Brenda, Pat says, you're so cool. Thank you very much for the video. Thank you. Hello, Martha. I'm glad you're here. Okay, Pat says, would you please give me the bundle order number for the cherries? And is that the host code for the next month when I want to order? So, Pat, this is the current June 2022 host code. I will post a new host code in July. If you need to find that quickly, just go over to my blog, my homepage, and there is a menu item called host code. So if you're ever looking for the first one of the month, say it's the beginning of July, always post the new host code the first day of the month, and you can look it up if you're planning on ordering in July. And the bundle number for the Sweetest Cherries bundle is 158717, and it will be, there it is. It is on my project sheet, and you can see the price, and that's the price in the U.S. It's $33.25 in the U.S. I love our punch bundles because they are economical, and like they are a little bit cheaper than our die bundles because you're not getting all of those dies. And the other thing I really liked, if you want to do the fronts, these deckled rectangle dies are really nice for layering, and even for cards and stuff. These are really good. And ironically, or maybe not ironically, but they just match the front of the box, the shape perfectly. So that was kind of a happy thing yesterday when I was like trying to find something, a shape or something that would work for the front, and that worked. So I was like, yay, happy times. All right, guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope it's sunny where you are. Today, right now, it's cloudy, but if it's sunny in New Jersey, I'm sure that sun's going to work its way up here, and we hopefully will have sun tomorrow. All right, you have a great week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.